click the video, good for you. That means you're gonna learn sweet video stuff about filming run and gun restaurant commercials and how to get sweet content like this.
When somebody asks me what I do for a living, I just say slicing meats at a sandwich shop in Ford City.
Yeah, so we do Tuscan style sandwiches, thin style schiacciata bread.
It all started when I started making bread at home about a year ago, and we started making sandwiches with it.
The bread at Petrella's is really the key. Right amount of oil, right amount of salt on top. Not only is it baked fresh daily, but it's baked fresh throughout the day.
The way we make our sandwiches is definitely family style, good local ingredients, the same way you would if you were eating at home.
I'm especially proud that I'm selling my own bread, our own sandwiches. It's really cool that this is our food. I take a lot of pride in that.
We took a simple approach, and when I say we, I mean me. I only had one guy shooting there, Ian, great BTS guy, great assistant. He did a little tiny bit of assisting, which I was grateful for. I didn't really hire him for that. I hired him for BTS, but anyway, good job, Ian. So everyone's always talking about plan. And yes, you should plan your shoots, but I want to see if I could just have a simple plan, put it together really quickly, film it in like 6 hours, get out of there, edit it over the course of a day or two, and see what I could come up with. And I gotta tell you, I had a ton of fun just going off the seat of my pants. My main objective was to film the entire commercial from an aerial view, top down. And I just thought it would be visually interesting for social media. And honestly, it turned out great. The only shots that weren't from the top down were the meat slicer shots. I thought just for that one shot, let's just do a standard tripod shot and then zoom in. And of course the interviews we shot on just a tripod. But the entire thing is just shot top down. And what I did was I had 2 C-stands with a boom arm attached, 2 boom arms attached to each C-stand with a gimbal and my GH5S. And the reason I put it on a gimbal was because I didn't want to be having to fuss with the camera angle and the position of the camera. I wanted to just be able to operate it remotely, and that's what I had. I can't remember what gimbal this is, but it's a Zhiyun, one of their first models, and I have the Bluetooth remote where you can control the gimbal's focus and positioning. So I rigged up the gimbal and the GH5S with I think a 35mm lens, Canon. I think I shot at 2.8 because I wanted everything to be in focus. As far as lighting goes, we just had the spotlight shining in as our sunshine, had a little fill light. I used the 200X, two 200X by Amaran, one for the spotlight, one for the fill light, and that's it. That was all we used. For the interview, I did have a diffusion for the 200X to soften up the light, but the backlight you see on the interview subject, that is just coming from the door. And then on the brick, I have the spotlight. So we're talking 2 lights for this entire commercial. It just goes to show you, you don't need to have so much elaborate lighting. You don't need to go crazy with it. I think it really showed off the crispness in the bread, the crispiness of the bread, how crunchy it looked and how fresh it looked. You could even see the steam coming out of the bread when he cut it in half. When that lunch meat was being sliced, that turned out better than I thought it was gonna turn out. Just goes to show you again, a simple tripod shot and then a little digital push in post-production goes a long way, as well as that simple spotlight lighting. If you don't have a spotlight, you're missing out, because a spotlight makes everything feel like natural sunlight's coming in. Even for the setup we have today, we have just a spotlight and the fill light. So we're basically using the same setup as far as lighting goes for this YouTube video. What can we learn from this? Well, we can learn that once you get to a point in your craft where you really know your equipment, and I've been doing this for about 10 years now, I feel like I'm finally at this point where I can just kind of do these experimental projects where I had a basic outline. I told the sandwich shop we're just gonna be shooting from the top down from an aerial view, and then we went in there and on the spot we made a few changes as far as the meat slicer and the interviews go, but everything else was done exactly how I planned, and it wasn't some crazy written out thing on paper. We just went in there, we had fun, we had some laughs, we shot some great sandwiches, and something I think I want to do more is just reach out to companies, shoot these cool, fun little commercials off the cuff, experiment with it, have fun with it. It's one of those things, if you've been in this business for a long time and you're starting to get a little stagnant and you're getting bored of the work you're doing, well, go reach out to a restaurant, a business, and say, hey, listen, let's have some fun together. Let's just shoot something and everyone kind of just fly off the seat of their pants. Have a basic outline. Like I had the basic plan of shooting top down, but everything else, let's just go for it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you've learned something and it's inspired you. Get out there and shoot something. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. I always appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Get ready.